Indonesia has a strong commitment to address the climate change issue. The Indonesia National Determined Contribution shows the commitment of Indonesia to implement the Paris Agreement, which had been ratified through Act No. 16, 2016, towards the low-carbon development and climate resilience in order to limit the increase of global temperature below 2 degrees Celsius. To reach the Paris Agreement commitment, in the period of 7 years, Indonesia has submitted various mandatory documents to the UNFCCC Secretariat, including the Third National Communication, Second and Third Biennial Update Report, First Nationally Determined Contribution, Updated NDC,
Enhanced NDC,
and Long-Term Strategy and Low Carbon and Climate Resilience 2050. In addition, to complement the aforementioned documents, Indonesia has also prepared the NDC Implementation Strategy, the NDC Mitigation Roadmap, as well as the Adaptation Roadmap. In the Indonesia NDC, the scenario of reducing greenhouse gas emissions from the forestry and other land use sector is projected to contribute to nearly 60% of the total greenhouse gas emission reduction target. For that reason, forestry sector has a significant role in controlling the GHG emissions in Indonesia. In accordance with the LTS-LCCR 2050 document, Indonesia has designed the Folu sector to be able to achieve a Netsink condition starting in 2030, which is a desirable condition where the absorption rate of the GHG in particular from the forestry and other land is the same or higher than the emission level. We name it with the jargon of Folu Netsink 2030. Regulatory improvements are continuously carried out to achieve the national target of GHG emissions contribution, including through the issuance of Presidential Regulation No. 98/2021 concerning carbon economic value and its further implementing regulation, the Decree of Minister of Environment and Forestry No. 168/2022 concerning Indonesia Folu Netsink 2030. Furthermore, the socialization process is being intensively conducted at national and subnational level. The socialization activities aim to disseminate all policies, strategies, and implementation plans related to mitigation action on GHG emission reduction, as well as to synergize and implement various existing program activities related to climate change, especially the forestry and other land use sector. The scope of Indonesia's Folu Netsink 2030 includes reducing the rate of deforestation, plantation forest development, sustainable forest management, peat restoration and peat water system improvement, mangrove rehabilitation and afforestation in ex-mining areas, biodiversity conservation, social forestry, introduction of ecosystem replication, green open space and eco-riparian, as well as supervision and law enforcement. Indonesia Folu Netsink 2030 shows climate action ambition in the implementation of targets through a more structured and systematic approach. Considering that Indonesia Folu Netsink 2030 provides focused development targets and where, for the first time in the history of the forestry sector, all programs have the same indicators and units measurements, CO2 equivalents. With Indonesia's Folu Netsink 2030, the expectation is to achieve a GHG emission level of -140 million tons of CO2 equivalent by 2030.